Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Abhishek Pari, and let me give you a small introduction of myself. I'm currently working as associate professor at Ganpat University, VM Patel Institute of Management, and faculty in area of finance. So my basic area of interest, even in research, is finance and econometrics. So today I will take session on research metrics and e-resources for the researcher. So our main focus will remain on the research metrics matrices. So this will be our next 60 to 70 minutes flow of presentation, in which we will try to cover the meaning of research matrices. We'll also try to understand different perspectives of research matrices, and we'll cover important of Scopus. As we all know that nowadays simple publication is not counted whenever we want to show our research profile. So what is the importance of Scopus when we talk about the Scopus author profile? That also we will cover in the today's session. Preparing a profile on Scopus, and then in the last based on the availability of time, we'll cover a bit about the source for e-resources. So, starting with the research matrices, let me clarify one point that research matrices is not precisely defined. However, different publishers have defined the research matrices in the different way. Even if we talk about the quantifying the research matrices, quantified number also represented by Elsewhere or represented by Web of Science is a bit different. We'll mostly taking a perspective of research matrices from the Scopus or what we call it Elsewhere. Hence, the Taylor and Frankis.com we taken as a source for defining the research matrices here. The meaning of research matrices is aims to measure specific impact of researchers. This is we are talking about the author specific. And research matrices are also quantitative measures that can help you in assessing research outputs at both article and journal level. So yes, of course, we all know that quality is very important. But whenever we want to define the quality, only quantitative numbers help us to understand the quality. I just give you one simple example. If we talk about satisfaction as a variable, it's a qualitative variable, yes. But when we want to do any research, we must quantify it to connect it with any other variable. Hence, here also, when we talk about the qualitative research, we are unable to define which one is better, and we are unable to rank research. Hence, it's a time of demand to measure research outputs in quantitative terms. So once we define it in quantitative terms, of course, if somebody having a impact factor of 4 and some journals having an impact factor 3, we can say that 4 factor is better than 3 impact factor. So if we talk about the objective of research matrices, the objective is very clear: converting qualitative research in quantitative number to understand impact of article, impact of journal, or impact of particular researcher in contribution to the world of research. So let me start with the one famous quote: "Not everything that counts can be counted, and not everything that can be counted counts." This quote is taken from the Elsevier book, which is a research matrices guidebook. So in a Google, you can type and search research matrices guidebook, and you will get the first PDF book which helps you to understand this research matrices in more detail. So if we try to understand this quote, what exactly it means in terms of the research or in terms of the publication. Many times, some author may have a 50 plus publication, but that 50 plus publication not necessarily contribution. Similarly, many times many faculties or many industrialists are contributing a lot to the world of academic, to the world of industry, but that contribution may not necessarily converted into the publication. Hence, we need to use some balance approach. So the research matrices is aimed to give this balance, multidimensional view for assessing the published research. Again, I am using the word published research. So if you have some publication and if you want to quantify the quality of your publication, research matrices is very important. So if we talk about the build on the depth and breadth of its data sources, many publishers are working not only with researcher but even publishers and many other stakeholders of research in academic, not only academia, even they involve many industrialists also to just evolve the basket of the different matrices which try to understand qualitative insights of research publication. So, if we define the level or the perspective of the matrices, broadly we can classify it into three categories. The first is general level matrices, second is article level matrices, third is author or and institutional level matrices. Now here the author and institutional level matrices many times creating a conflict also. So that also we will cover when we will discuss about the matrices which represent quality of research for the particular researcher or the from the particular institute side. Even in the nowadays NAC criteria, the institutional matrices of Scopus listed publication is very important. Getting a very good weightage into the rating and ranking. Let's start with the general matrices. So general level matrices continue to be an important part of basket of matrices, complementing new and alternative matrices to provide a multifaceted view of the journal's impact. So, in a nutshell, what we may summarize general matrices as general matrix metrics help us to understand what is a level or what is the ranking of journal, right? So whenever we are selecting journal, there are many method of identifying a journal. One method is ABDC rating. So whether it is A star, A, uh, B, C, which category, right? Another method is whether it is Scopus listed or not, whether it is Web of Science listed or not. Uh, Again, what is the impact factor of the journal? We'll discuss that particular metrics of journal impact factor. What is the site score of journal? So these are the some method of identifying a good journals based on some number or based on the some quantifiable number. The second level of matrix are article level. Article level matrices provides insight into the way of people interact with the individual piece of research out. That may be article, that may be conference proceedings, that may be the sum or one book chapter, and many other type of research output which may be available online or offline. So in an article level matrices, the objective is to understand the impact of particular research output. Similarly, when we talk about the third category, that is the author and institutional matrices, author and institutional matrix can help you to access an entity's research output and scholarly impact. It means that individual's author is how much capable to produce qualitative research output, or an individual institute how much able to make their faculties or their stakeholder motivated for doing good or qualitative research. So that is a entity level. It may be author, it may be institution. So affiliation is very important whenever anyone is writing their research article and try to publish it in any journal. So yes, in a Scopus you have an option to carry your article whenever you are move on in your career from the one institute to another institute. And if you want to keep your institute affiliation as it is, institution also can claim that this particular article was published when the particular person was working with us, right? So the both option is available when we talk about the author profiling. So we'll discuss it practically also. I will show from the Scopus website when we discuss about the author matrix. We'll go in a more detail of the author matrix rather than the journal level or article level, because nowadays the research scholars profile is very important to show that he or she is doing qualitative research and really contributing into the world of research. So let me start with the general matrix. First and foremost, which most of the research scholar may aware about, is the impact factor, and the second is the site score. Now, the basic difference or the very hairline difference between the impact factor and site score is impact factor is based on the 2 years calculation, while the site score is based on the 3 years calculation. More precisely, the impact factor measures the average number of citations received in particular year by papers published in the journal during the two preceding years. So yes, you need to look at the journal citation reports also to get the impact factor, or you can get the impact factor from the SJR website also. We'll discuss that also afterward. And even most of the journals are giving their impact factor site score as their ranking, and also SNIP, that's source normalized impact or paper. So let me give you one example. So we'll not go into the detail of example for each and every type of matrix, but we'll try to understand one or two. So let me start with the impact factor. Uh, let's assume Journal X is a quarterly journal with on an average 5 articles per issue in the last 2 years. Let's say 2016 and 2017. And the journal received total 161 citation for article published in 2016 and 2017 in year of 2018. So the meaning is we are try to calculate impact factor in the year 2080, but will take consideration of number of publications or number of article published in that particular journal in the last 2 years, so 16 and 17. And even citation we will count for the 2016 and 17 article only. Now that number of count, that is a 161 divided by 40. Why 40? Because a quarterly journal, so 5 multiplied by 4, 20 articles published per year. And if we talk about last 2 years, 20 multiplied by 2, 40 articles were published in 2016 and 17. So that is what our calculation is. Then impact factor of this journal is 161 divided by 40. That's come around 4.025. So whenever you look at any journal, the impact factor is shown on the left hand side of that particular journal page, and you can even get the definition also, which is also given in the elsewhere journals, most of the elsewhere journals. Now, same example, only instead of 16 to 17, we'll talk about 15 to 17. The total article 60, total citation 390, and we can say that site score is 5.317. So the only difference between the impact factor and site score is impact factor is for the 2 years proceedings, and site score is for the 3 years. Right? So it is clearly written in the definition of this PPT. Published in the journal during the 2 preceding years, year, uh, 3 previous calendar years, right? So that's the basic difference. Now, uh, the two more general level matrices which can be calculated for article also. Now here you can calculate this particular two matrix on article base also. So if we talk about the source normalized impact per paper is a contextual citation impact by weightage of citation. Now the weightage is again calculated based on the eigenfactor. We'll discuss it in more when we talk about the article level matrices. So based on that particular weighted citation score, we need to divide by the number of documents for the particular year, and that will give us idea about the SNIP. This is more smooth or more precise measure for the identifying the quality of journal, not only journal, even for article. So we'll discuss the article level in the next slide. If we talk about the SJR, so it's a ranking, and the ranking is again calculated based on the algorithm, as we have a Google page rank. So it is also provide quantitative number which help us to understand the impact of that particular journal, right? So SJR is also impact of journal, and will be given the score based on the, again I am giving the idea that Eigen score. What is Eigen score? We'll discuss in the next slide. So let me explain Eigen factor before we try to understand the article influence. Sorry. So Eigenfactor score is a rating of the total importance of the specific journal. Journals are rated according to the number of incoming citation, with the citation from highly ranked journal weighted to the make larger contribution to the Eigenfactor than those from the poorly ranked journal. So it is like the cycle. If you improve your journal, and then within that journal, if you have a more citation, it will be giving a more value. So let me explain in the simple word. Let's say, for example, you are writing one article, and if your article is cited in a journal of finance, or if your article is cited in Indian Journal of Finance, now the both is from the different category. both is with the different impact factor. Now the weightage of the citation which is occurred in the Journal of Finance is of course having a more weightage, more important, more quality. So even if your article is published in the a low rank or low quality journal, it may be possible that it may be cited into the higher order journal, and if that happens, automatically score or the Eigen-Factor score will improve for that article. So even if your article is in a low category journal, it may have a good influence if your Eigen-Factor score is higher. So basically, article influence is calculated by dividing this Eigen-Factor score by the percentage of all articles recorded in the journal citation report that were published in that specific journal. So let me give you example. If I am publishing one of my research paper in Indian Journal of Finance, now whatever number of Indian Journal of Finance articles for the particular year is reported in a journal citation reports. So that's basically considered as a scopus listed. Uh, that number is used as a divisor, and Eisenfactor score is calculated based on the weighted average citation of your article. So my article is published in Indian Journal of Finance. Now, if that particular article is cited in a Journal of Finance, that can be cited into the Journal of Asset Management. It can be cited into the Journal of Portfolio Management, and it may be cited into the Indian Journal of Finance itself. Now, the weightage of Journal of Finance, Journal of Asset Management, Journal of Portfolio Management, and Indian Journal of Finance is different. And based on that, you will get the calculated score, and that should be divided by the number of articles which is reported in journal citation reports for that particular year for the Indian Journal of Finance. Hence, if your Eigen score is higher, if your article's Eigen score is Eigen factor score is high, the it is considered to be a more influence in terms of the contribution, right? So the same calculation is done in the SJR ranking. They use this Eisen score for the calculating the prestige or ranking of the journal. But here we will take the Eisen score of the all articles published at particular year divided by number of articles that will be listed in the journal citation report, right? So basically this particular journal citation reports is provided on the Web of Science website. Similarly, if you are interested to identify the Scopus listed journals or Scopus listed books, proceedings, that also can be taken from the Scopus website. I will show it once we complete with the understanding of uh, different level of matrices. So we completed journal level matrices, we completed article level. Now let's discuss about the author or and institute level. So this is very or more important to the research scholar. And at this level, you need to focus on improving your author level matrices as a research scholar, and how you may be able to improve upon your own matrices that we will discuss here. So let's first of all we try to understand the different mechanism or different way of quantifying your research work or your research contribution. The first is a citation. So it is simply calculating total number of citation. I will show one example once we discuss all three method of calculation of research contribution by the particular researcher. In a Google Scholar, you maybe get this particular citation H index and I10 index, and there are two columns given by the Google Scholar. First column is talking about the total. Second column is talking about the last 5 years. So the second column is basically last 5 years summary. If we talk about H index is the largest number H such that H publications have at least H citation. Now, this H word is a bit confusing to understand. So let me clarify what this means. You can consider it as a X also. Uh, but when we talk about H index, we need to understand that how many of my articles having a n number of citation with n number of publication. So simply, if I have a total 10 publication, for example, out of that, my highest citations are 7, 6, 5, and then less than 2. Now here, I need to start with the 7. So let's say, for example, am I have a 7 article with the 7 citation? No, I have only one article with the 7 citation. So H index is not 7. Come down. 6. Am I have a 6 article with the 6 citation? Answer is no. 5. Am I have a 5 article with the 5 citation? No. 4. Am I have a 4 articles with the 4 citation? No. 3. Am I have a 3 articles with the 3 citation? Answer is yes, because I have a 3 articles which actually having a citation 7, 6 and 5 respectively. Hence, this all 3 article having a more than 3 citation. So I have a 3 articles with the more than 3 citation. Hence, my H index is 3. Are we clear? Are we clear with this concept? Yes, of course. If you have any doubt, I will share my WhatsApp number and email ID. So you can post your query on my email ID. Uh, we will be more than happy to help you in case if we are in a position. Otherwise, we will suggest someone else who is expert of that particular domain, right? So then the third methodology of identifying research contribution by the individual researcher is I10 index. So what is I10 index? It's the number of publication with at least 10 citation. So here it is not necessary that your 10 articles should have a 10 citation. If your 10 articles have a 10 citation, then only your H index will be 10. But here in I10, even if my one article has a more than 10 citation, automatically my I10 index is 1. If I have a two publication with the more than 10 citation, my I10 index is 2. If I have a 15 articles with the more than 10, then it is a 50. But not necessary that my 15 articles have a more than 15 citation here. It should be more than 10 citation only. So 10 is the upper limit, right? Similarly, many institutes nowadays define I20 or I50 type of index where the minimum citation required per article is 20 or 50 for consideration of adding a one number in a publication of I10 index, right? So let me give you the one live example with the one of our faculty's profile. Uh, So here is the Chase Patel says the profile, and here document. I think there are more than 15, total 19 articles documented in a Google Scholar. Now let's try to understand this particular research profile of Chase Patel. So the total citation is 950. Now that since he start his publication, the total citation of his article is 950. If we talk about the last 5 years, it's 929. So we can say that his profile is mostly evolved in the last 5 years after 2015. Because if we deduct 940 minus 929, before that, there are hardly 11 citation of him. If we talk about the H index, so 9 indicates that he has a 9 article with the 9 citation or more than 9 citation. Are we clear? So if you look at this particular, descending order, it is always in a descending order based on the citation. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this is 9, then 7. So of course, we'll take the highest number. So that is a 9 articles having a more than 9 citation. So his H index is 9. That is reflected. If we talk about the last 5 years, these all publications are in last 5 years. So for last 5 years also, H index remains the same. That is a 9. And these all 9 articles having a more than 10. So 13 is also more than 10. In case if this is a 9, if in case this is a 9, then his H index is 9, but his I10 index become 8. Are we clear with this or not? So as this is a 13, which is a more than 10, both number is matching. So do not confuse between H index and I10 index. I10 index is looking at the more than 10 publication. That's it. So in case if this 13 citation is in case if 9 citation, then H index remain the 9, but his I10 index maybe 8 in that particular scenario. I'm just giving you one scenario. And as I already explained that these all 9 articles in the last 5 years, hence for the last 5 years, I10 index is also the same, that is a 9, right? Here is year-wise progress shown, right? So if we talk about 2018, 175 citation, then in 2019, 300 citation, 2020, which is not yet completed, so probably it is 300 plus, of course. So it is showing a continuous uh, research contribution or the improvement of the research contribution by Dr. Jayesh Patel in the area of his expertise, right? So this is a one just one example for your understanding. Now there is a big, debate going on that why Scopus and why not Web of Science. So there are advantage and disadvantage on the both the side, but the Scopus is try to uh, quantify the research contribution in the more precise way than the previous impact factor or the site score, because at that time they are calculating a number of citation. Now many times what happens that the author is doing a self citation, or sometimes within a one article, author is doing a 3 times citation. Now here Scopus is try to redefine that, whether to calculate the self citation or not. If calculating the self citation, then what should be the weightage? So in a IGN factor score, that weightage will be automatically reduced if it is a self citation. If you are citing the same article 3 times in a one article, it is considered as only one citation, right? If your citation is into the more qualitative journal, the weightage will be automatically improved in a IGN factor score of the citation, right? So basically nowadays people are looking more on the Scopus profile. Yes, of course, this Google profile is also work, but nowadays the most of the institute is looking at the Scopus profile rather than the Google profile. So let me show you the search profile. Even you if you don't have a Scopus profile, you need to create the one Scopus profile. I will give you some of the where you need to go on the website and you need to register yourself for continuous quantifying your own research contribution into the world of research, right? So let me continue with the author profile. I think my next slide is author profile only. So let's open the author profile. So let me again check for the Patel Jayesh. Or yes, let me check. Sorry, there are two Jayesh Patel. Both is from Ganpati University. Actually, having five Jayesh Patel in our university. So he's a Patel JSD having a 13 Scopus listed publication as on date. And yes, so you can see that you can compare also that H index. Let me go back to the profile of him. Okay, can you see here what is H index? 9. So on Google Scholar it is showing 9, in Scopus it is showing 5. The question is why here it is 9 and why here it is 5. The definition remains same of H index, whether we talk about the Google Scholar or whether we are talking about the Scopus profile. The point is here when we calculate the citation, it is based on the eigenfactor. It is not the pure citation. Here we are counting the number of citations. So let's say for example, this article is cited into the 13 different documents. So automatically number of citation is 13 for that particular article. Now the same article may not consider to be having the 13 citation because the citation out of that 13, only the citation calculated which is Scopus listed, right? So then in that case Scopus listed citation is in the number is if we talk about the total number of documents with the total number of citation, he has a 5 number of Scopus listed publication with more than 5 citation. So only 5 documents with the more than 5 citation. Remaining may not having a even 5 citation. So this particular, I just take the one example randomly. Self identity. This is in 2020. So let me go 2020. Yes, this one. So how many citation here? It is showing 5. How many citation showing here? Showing 4 only. So one less citation. It means that one citation is other than Scopus or Web of Science, right? Similarly, let me check for this 13 because it must be less than 13 in the year 2015. I think year it is available 2015. This one. Can you see 7 only? Right? Same article. Same article. right? How many citations showing in Google's growth? So the question is whether to consider the Google profile or Scopus. My answer is simple. Nowadays, Institute will consider Scopus author profile only. The reason is there are so many discussion going on that the only Scopus publication may be considered as a quality publication, and that is only get the credit in terms of the API. So in the current situation, the three listing is important: Scopus listing, Web of Science, or UGC care listed, right? So if your publication is in a journal of any of these three category, then only you maybe get the credit of that publication. But if your journal is not UGC care, not Scopus listed, not in Web of Science, will be not considered, right? So yes, Scopus list is directly shown in the UGC care. So the all Scopus listed journals are the part of UGC care. So yes, broadly we can say that your publication should be at least minimum UGC care listed, right? Okay, so that's it. So uh, okay, let me show one more point here. Okay, so from here you can create, right, your own profile. Uh, you can click here and you can create your ORCID login also. That is also very important for the scientific research contribution, to show the scientific research contribution. I also want to show one more point here on the main website of the Scopus. Yes, so if you just press scopus.com, you will get all the content guide, Scopus source list, books title list, and the name of journals or proceedings or whatever which is discontinued, right, from the Scopus listing. So they generally publish this particular list every month or twice in a 6 month. So you need to remain updated about the list. And many researchers having a question in their mind that let's say, sir, today we are publishing some research work which is in a Scopus listed. After 3 years or 5 years, it is discontinued from the source of Scopus. Is it will remain in my author profile? Answer is yes, it will remain in your author profile. Don't worry about it. Uh, Similarly, the question is, let's say for example, today I am publishing one research. After 5 years, that journal is taken into consideration of the Scopus listing, then automatically your article is also considered as a Scopus published. So in the both case, it is beneficial or giving a benefit to the author in their author profile, right? Are we clear? If you have any question, again I'm sharing that in the last slide I will share my number and email ID. You may ask any question to me on that particular email ID. Right. So, what is author profile in Scopus? Scopus is the only database in the world which has invested in automatically grouping the publication it indexes into those published by the single author. So, it is author identifier group together publications belonging to one author, and they have two modes of input. So this author profile is giving it two inputs: one, publication sets, and also group of publication sets, that is affiliation. So I think if we talk about let me go back to the profile. Here also I can search. Let me go by my So okay. Now if you look at the let me go back. Affiliation, that's a Ganpat University. So even when I am searching, I can write down this affiliation. So I have not shown that affiliation is important, right? A moment I will change the affiliation, then maybe the different listing of the authors. So affiliation is important. Now again, there are some questions by the many research scholars and even faculties having this question in their mind, that let's say for example currently Jayesh Patel is working with the Ganpat University. He has documented 13 documents in the Scopus listing with the 5H index. Now he is moving into the any other university or institute, right? So what about this affiliation? Now that is purely depend upon whether this article is under Dr. Jayesh Patel's copyright, or it is under the institutional's property. So if some article when published by Jayesh Patel and is financed by the Ganpat University, so many universities are motivating researcher for doing a more and more research, and they are providing them a grant. So even institute don't know this, that when they are providing the money for the research article published by that particular researcher, it is come under the institute publication. And in that case, once Jayesh Patel is moved to the other institute, that article he may not claim, because Ganpati University already paid fund for that particular article. So then this article will remain under institute. Of course, the name will remain of author Jayesh Patel. So it will be reflected in the author profile of Jayesh Patel also, but it will reflected in the Ganpat University also. That is the number one. Number two, whatever publication done by the Jayesh Patel after moving to the other university, that will remain into the affiliation of the other university. But let's say, for example, Ganpati University is not providing any fund for the publication to the Dr. Jayesh Patel, and Dr. Jayesh Patel had done this all publication himself with all the expenses or cost borne by himself. Then in that particular case, when he is moving to other university, he may change the affiliation of the university from the Ganpat University to the new university name. So it will remain with him only. So whatever institute he will move, the affiliation for that article will go change, keep changing. Right. So both option is available in the Scopus. Why I am explaining this is whenever you are try to get any funding or benefit from your institute, make sure that you are not keeping your article with you whenever you are joining new institute. Are we clear? So that is very clear, and it is defined into the research matrices guidebook of Elsewhere, right? So this is a book where it is clearly defined. I will not go into the definition of that. But this research matrices guidebook, which is designed by the Elsewhere only, and that is the first search in the Google. You can search in the Google for identifying this book, and you can download it with you. This is giving a more detailed type of explanation of research matrices. At this level, we need not to go in that much of detail. We need to understand author level only. This is the first one. Some problem. Okay, maybe I have some problem, but you can search this, you can click this, and then uh, that particular page will ask for your name and your detail. Once you submit your name, detail, etc., you can download this book, right? So I already have a copy offline, right? Just giving you a table of content where I think affiliation is a 2.4, right? This is very important point. You may go into the detail of it, but basically this is the summarized version of the affiliation or the institute level uh, profile. Okay. And as I already told you, that group of publication sets, that's defined as an institute level, right? So at the end of this particular session, I suggest each and every uh, researcher to register themselves with the SJR, Publons, Google Scholar, ORCID, Academia, SSRN, ResearchGate, and Researcher. So yes, every portal is not important, but at least you need to do first four, right? First four is very important and used by many of the journals to define your author profile, right? So the Web of Science login also you can create. This is for the Web of Science. Here you can register. From here, if you have already here without login, you may not allow to see the author's profile of Web of Science, right? So from here, when you log in, you can log in through your ORCID ID also, right? So the ORCID ID and Web of Science is the one is the same. So this is the page. Yes, you can register from here. Scholar also you can. This is my sign in page, but you can prepare my profile. So you need to search as a Google Scholar, and then you can create your profile. Scopus also you can create a profile. This is I already shown as a login. So I need to sign out, and then I can show you the from where you can register. But it is very simple process. Believe me, you can easily able to create your profile within something around 15 to 20 minutes. Yes, the Google Scholar is a bit difficult because Google Scholar will not identify article by itself. So in a Google Scholar only, what you need to do is, let me go into my profile. Okay, I don't have the name of Abhishek Parikh. It is at another email ID. So it will be not reflected here, but you need to add. Here there is option of add. You need to click add article, and then one by one you need to identify your article and you need to list it down here, right? Sometimes it is also possible that some other author name is matched with you. It will show the you know uh, misleading profile of the author. Let me give you one example. Okay. Now here only one Patel here is shown in the Ganpat University, but there are basically three Hero Patels there in the Ganpat University, and this six documented is merge of two authors. So then you need to create the profile. Without creating profile, it will not you know able to give the true picture. Now, source for identifying good articles. What you can do is you can go into the Google Scholar, and yes, you can search article. So let me just give you one example of the downside risk and portfolio management. What you need to do is from the Google Scholar, whenever you're looking at any article, just try to check for the publisher elsewhere. So yes, it is Scopus listed, right? So good publisher should be there, and then you can click on that particular article. If it is available, you can directly download. If it is not open access, you need to identify some e-library from where you can get that particular article, and then you can further work upon your research, right? The EBSCO is another source of good research article which is listed on the EBSCO. But I prefer easiest way is the Google Scholar, because first you need to start with the Google Scholar. Of course, within a Google Scholar, you need to identify the good publishers. So only include your article in any of your research if it is Scopus listed journal article, right? Because nowadays the important, as I already explained, the important is the Scopus profile. So if you are citing Scopus listed publication, then it will be going to improve the somebody's Scopus profile. At the same time, there is a higher chances that your article will be accepted by the Scopus listed journal. If you are use non Scopus listed, yes, in some of the cases, Web of Science is considered equally as a Scopus listing, but no other journals which is not Web of Science, not Scopus, then I strongly recommend not to use those type of article for the citation in your research contribution or research work. This is it for a day. Thank you very much to all participants for the refreshers course, and I am open to any question answer to you on my WhatsApp number, that is 081412095535. The two is mistyped. It is up to 5 only. And my email ID is abhishek.parikh@ganpatuniversity.ac.in. You can email me also, but just give me your brief introduction before you are asking, or you have any query to solve, so that I will reflect upon it. I will give response to your query. Uh, I will try my best to solve your queries. So thank you very much. Thank you again. I am concluding the session now. Good day to all.